Howdy, folks. What's going on? This is the Outlaw Hatfield here on a beautiful sunny Tuesday day. It's actually very nice here today. I'm quite happy. I wish every day was like this. Beautiful, sunny, not a cloud in the sky. It's a good day not to be at work. Ha ha ha. Midnight, how are you, buddy? Who else is out there right now? We got John Z and Midnight. We got 5 watching, but I only see 2 people chatting other than those 2. So, as far as the gun channel side goes, I don't know what's going on over there. I can't log on to my page or anything, so it's driving me nuts. But we will get that worked out all in good time. John, how are you? I've got John Z here with me today.
I'm doing well. How are you, sir?
I am pretty good. I'm doing really good today.
Fantastic, and thank you everyone for joining us today.
Yeah. I have a very loyal viewership.
And that's sometimes more important than having a wider viewership.
You know what? I don't have hundreds or thousands of viewers like other people, but I know that when this show comes on, I'm going to have a select few that's always going to be here, that never misses one of my shows. Even if they have to catch it in replay, I know that I can count on these people to watch the shows. And no matter how good or bad it is, they're going to be here.
What's up?
And we have had a Travi join us.
Hey, man, how's it going?
It's going good. How are you?
I'm sorry I'm late. I was at Walmart buying my first gallon jug of sweet tea. I'm not joking. I brought Red Diamond. I got it right in front of me right now. I'm going to have some pizza. I'll mute myself when I'm chewing. I was told I have to drink sweet tea with salty food, so I'm using this as an excuse. So, by the way, I'm not trying to hijack your show. I just want to let you know where I was at. So, anyway.
No, you're fine. You're good.
Do you like my list of demands I left on your video?
Yeah, I did. I've seen that. We're going to go over those demands.
Good.
We are going to straighten you out on how to make sweet tea at home.
Okay, see now the Red Diamond, it's got more tea flavor on the back end than the McDonald's does.
Yeah, well, it depends on how they make it, and you can get sweet tea from McDonald's. It's pretty good. You can go to Burger King and get it. It's pretty good.
Okay. Dude, I'm hooked, man. I'm freaking hooked.
Is there a Waffle House around you?
Kansas. I have to go about 90 miles. No, about 120 miles to get to a Waffle House.
Waffle House, Huddle House, little diners like that, they normally have really good sweet tea.
Yeah, we got some like mom and pop diners in the area that do good home cooking, like from what do you call it, I'm drawing a blank here. How the way they make it, like the pancakes, stuff on the griddle, hash brown, stuff like that,
Okay, but now let me ask you something.
I could dunk pancakes in this stuff, man. This is fantastic.
Let me ask you a question, Travis. We'll get into this real quick.
Yeah.
You've made hot tea before, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so what you do when you make the hot tea is you boil the water, and then you pour the water over the tea bags.
Yeah,
right?
You let it steep.
Okay. This is not how you do with sweet tea. What you want to do is you want to fill the pot up with water, put the tea bag straight into it, then turn the oven on.
What oven?
Or the stovetop.
Oh, the range? Oh,
yeah.
The stovetop? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So water in the pan, tea bags in the pan.
And then add heat.
Then add heat. Okay. All right.
Then pour your sugar in as it's boiling.
Okay.
And you can add more after to taste.
But I'm not doing sugar though. I'm supposed to do honey.
Well, you can do honey too. It's the same principle.
No, I'm taking the Outlaw Hatfield Honey Challenge here pretty soon, bud. Yeah.
Shoot it.
I know. I don't think people want to see another video of me drinking honey tea. I mean, I'm gonna have a whole playlist of tea videos here if I keep doing this the way I'm doing it.
Yeah, just I'm telling you. You'll like it. Make a video of it. And come back and let me know. Now, with honey, sometimes you have to use a little more than you would expect to use.
Okay.
Because it does boil down a little bit. So you know, pour enough to where you think there's enough, and then pour some more, and then
Okay.
you know. But
Okay, so
man,
now bring this stuff up to a boil, what, 4 or 5 minutes, and then just turn the heat off and let it sit for a while, or what?
yeah, that's pretty much what you do.
You let it sit, like get back to room temperature, or what? Do I let it just sit to get to a point where I can pour another pitcher?
Just what we normally did was we'd pour it in a pitcher. After it sit for a while, you pour it in a pitcher.
Okay.
Taste it. You know, make sure it's sweet enough. If it's not, you can still add. You know,
still warm. It's still going to absorb it.
Yeah, still. You know, add sweetener to it then.
Yeah.
And then just put it in the fridge. You know, let it cool, or put it in the, or throw some ice in it. Let it cool that way. I don't recommend the ice, and this is why. Because it adds more water and it just takes away from the flavor. It's best just to cool it naturally. But if you're in a hurry, throw some ice in it. It's fine. It's
this is fantastic, man. This is amazing. It's so good.
I can't believe you've never had sweet tea before.
I didn't grow up in it. We had instant and we had sun tea, and we never did it. My dad never mixed sugar in it with my mom even texted me after she watched the video. I put this in the comment in your video. She told me, and I quote, "I'm going to McDonald's to get a sweet tea right now." She goes, "I've never had it before." And she doesn't do a lot of, she does coffee with creamer in it and stuff. But no, I'm not kidding, dude. Nobody in my family does sweet tea. I'm serious. Or if they do, like, my wife might get a fruity tea or something, but I don't drink it. I'm a black coffee, dark chocolate dude, man. I'm telling you, smoky, bold, bitter. That's what I do. Now, I got a question for you. My wife wanted me to ask you this question. Have you ever had unsweetened tea?
Yes. It's
really
disgusting.
Oh, all right. Fair enough.
I don't care for it either.
See, for me, it's bitter. It kind of reminds me of just black coffee or tobacco or stogies. That's kind of why I like it. So, yeah. But it is good with salty food. I do have to say, it is very good together.
And as far as types of tea, Lipton's good.
Louisiana.
That works. Just experiment, because different teas taste a little different from one another, and you'll eventually find one that you like, and that'll be the one that you pretty much stick with.
Well, and I've done those as unsweetened before. That's what we do for sun tea pitchers. You just put your tea bags in the water and set it out on the patio with a yeah.
Let it sit all day. Mom used to do that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and
in the off years we have to just do instant, or just in the house you just do hot tea, but we never sweeten it.
See, I cannot stand unsweetened tea. If I drink tea, it's got to be sweet. And I'm just the opposite when it comes to coffee. I like black coffee. I don't like nothing in it. So, no cream, no sugar, no nothing in my coffee. Just pour it and hand it to me. We're good.
There you go.
But when I was in New York, the big thing up there was, putting cream and sugar in their coffee or in their tea. And I'm like,
see,
why would you put cream in tea?
I saw the comments people were making on your video, and they said, "Oh, they're just trying to be British."
I'm trying to be something.
I think they do put cream in their tea in the UK. I'm sure there's a lot of people put cream in their tea here. I don't. I guess I don't do creamy tea. My wife does. What is it? That's kind of that clovey, ginger, spicy tea that people get. What the hell is it? I can't think of it. Chai. She does chai tea, which is like a creamy tea, but that's different. That's a whole different type of thing. It's its own flavor and stuff. It's not like regular black tea, but.
Now, I'll tell you something else I've seen people do. I've seen people put clove in their tea and boil it up like that.
Yeah.
I've seen people use cinnamon sticks.
Okay.
And there's just different things you can do to flavor it more, or whatever.
Now, AMAC gave me permission to put lemons in it too. He said I can do lemon tea. That's acceptable.
Oh, yes.
Okay, I want to make sure, because I don't want somebody to say you can't do that, and then I start some kind of a war in the South. I don't want that.
Honey lemon tea is freaking awesome.
All right.
Or you can use oranges. I've seen people do that.
As for pre-made stuff, all I can get at Walmart is the Red Diamond, and then they have like Gold Peak and Lipton, but they didn't actually have those in sweet. They had like an original, they had a peach, they had like a green. Yeah. So I'm pretty limited with what I can get for sweet tea. Now I know they make Walmart.
Did you actually read the ingredients on that jug when you bought it?
Oh no, I was so excited just to find it. I didn't even have time. Is it high fructose?
Yeah, it is. So that's the
Super
difference.
high.
Yeah, that's the difference between buying a jug of tea and then making your own.
Okay. Well, is that what Walmart or is that what McDonald's uses, or does McDonald's use just sugar?
You know, I'm not sure what McDonald's uses. I've never worked at McDonald's. Right now. I've never worked at McDonald's, so I have no clue.
Well, you don't have to work there to be curious about what they're putting in your food. But
yeah, well, I do not want to know what McDonald's puts in my food most of the time. Thank you very much.
You don't have to work there to have diabetes either, but it helps.
It does, yeah.
It does. It does.
Okay, now here's the deal, man. All right, look at this. Red Diamond, all natural sweet tea. That's what I bought. Water, sugar, orange. Is it? I can't get it pronounced. Is it Pico? Orange Picoe and Picoe tea. Potassium sorbate added to maintain freshness.
Oh, well. Then you got a good brand. Congratulations.
Yeah, that's exactly what I got was Red Diamond all natural. That's the stuff that I bought.
Uh-huh. And
so I'm okay, 70 calories. Still got 17 grams of sugar in it, but
yeah, well, it's sweet tea, so it's going to have sugar.
I like it better than McDonald's. This has got more tea bitterness to it. Tastes like real tea. I mean, McDonald's was good. It was a little watered down, but it was sweet. So it was kind of a nice gateway drug into the sweet tea world, to get me started on it.
Yep.
But yeah, this is amazing, man.
And no two restaurants serve the exact same sweet tea at all. Everywhere you go, it's different.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of places, like down south, if you ask for, tea, you're going to get it sweet. Like it or not, you're getting it sweet. Unless you specifically say, I want unsweetened tea, you're getting sweet tea. Now up north, I've noticed is just the opposite. They'll hand you tea, but they don't bother putting sugar in it. I made that mistake. I was like, what in the hell am I drinking?
Yeah, they won't even ask you if you want tea. They might say lemon. They won't even ask you if you want sweet or not. Now here's something crazy, man. All right, wife and I went up to Canada about 8 years ago. Went to Winnipeg.
I'm sorry.
No, it was a good time. It was worth it. And all the tea up there was sweetened with lemon. Like everywhere we went, like the instant that they had at the place we were staying was sweetened with lemon. So there must be something weird that gets missed in the middle part of the country. That's why we're the flyover states, because culture and flavor and stuff just completely bypass us. So yeah. But yeah, when you go up north, you won't get sugar in your tea unless it's like a fruity tea or it specifically says sweet tea. By the way, what's the topic for your show today? I'm sorry to be just sitting here talking about, tea. Was tea the topic? What was the topic? I didn't even have time to look, man. I just came in and jumped online.
With me and John come up with an article a few minutes ago that, we were just basically chit-chatting, and then I ran across this article and found one where Mr. Donald Trump is apparently going back on all those promises he made for gun control laws. He's back.
He's going with the popular audience, man. He knows that the liberal side's going to be the popular side that's going to get him the vote, because that's the majority, unfortunately, out there. I hate to admit it, but I mean, that's we're outnumbered 10-1. Just look at the
he's going the other. Apparently, he's going the other way with it now. He had promised those gun control laws a couple of weeks ago, and now he's backpedaling. He's saying, that might be a good idea.
No, he's pushing it off on committees to figure it out, which means it's going to take years before anything happens. And then he's planning on state activism, maybe kicking in there and stopping it from happening in certain states so that we don't realize he actually did it.
Well, I didn't actually get through the whole article, so we're going to have John read it out, and we're going to discuss it and try to pick at it a little bit and figure out what's going on with it.
I got one for you guys too. This is actually there's a guy on YouTube. His name is Mundane Matt. He's been covering a lot of gun stuff lately, but he normally talks about movies, Hollywood gossip, video games, and stuff like that. He's moderate. He's not necessarily straight up liberal. I mean, he's, but I'm gonna post an internal on this one. You guys think this is something we should talk about? Because I think this could be this would just, if this happened to me, man, it'd be a lawsuit.
Let's see.
And this happened in Virginia, of all places, man. I thought that Virginia was supposed to be, pro 2A, but apparently not. Now, she was a social services employee. What they're not saying is whether or not she was actually carrying. If she was carrying, that's one thing. Because, the news likes to shock you with the headlines.
Okay, this is
first of all,
nuts.
You want to tell people what's going on? Do it, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Listen, first let me hit you with the title of this. And before we get into it, I'll survivor of a sexual assault says she was fired for having a concealed carry permit. That right there, that's enough to piss me off. That is nuts. But Travis, before we get into that, let me go over here to the YouTube side
Yeah, man.
and find out who's out there listening.
Cool.
RL's out there. How you doing, RL? Phoenix, Vanessa, how you doing? Two Live Moo. Two Live, you are always in here, and I appreciate you so much, buddy.
Too loud, moo.
Yep. Casino Boss, how are you, Casino? Thanks. Casino Boss subbed to me last night, and I normally call out the guys that sub to me during my shows. Casino, I missed you. I'm sorry about that. He Casino Boss subscribed to me last night. You don't know how much I appreciate you, buddy. And he has a comment here: Earl Grey tea with bourbon and honey. Ah, there you go. A man with taste, you might say.
That bourbon can make any tea
Yeah.
sweet.
It depends on the bourbon, though. It does depend.
I think
on
it
the
makes
bourbon.
anything better, for the most part. So
Absolutely.
It depends on the bourbon. Alaskan 556, Russ Carr, 9mm. How are you, Mia? We got a pretty good crew out here tonight. I'm happy with it. Okay, now, Travis, do you want to read that article?
yeah, give me a sec here. I mean,
got
did
your
or
mouth,
yeah.
he's got his mouth full of pizza. Oh, wait a minute. Before we go any further, what's on the
tea?
pizza?
Sweet tea. Oh, just straight up pepperoni, cheese, and some extra seasoning.
Okay, we can deal with that. That's a good.
I'm definitely going for a dietary low today. So, but I was told again, this is research I'm doing for NEA Matt. He said you got to have sweet tea with salty food, so I have no choice but to comply. What am I supposed to do? Anyway, yeah, I'll be happy to read this article. This scares me. This scares me because this person's a public employee and so am I, and this really does scare me. You want me to go over right now?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so it says survivor of sexual assault says she was fired for having a concealed carry permit. I know you already read that. So a woman identifying as a Virginia social worker took to social media Friday evening to vent about being fired from her job for being a concealed carry permit holder. Storm Durham, a former Department of Virginia Social Services employee who describes herself as a 22-year-old blonde who is 5'2" and about 140 pounds, who loves everything Disney, pink, and basic, asserts that she was escorted out of her office by 3 Roanoke, Virginia police officers after she was canned. She was, according to posts on Facebook, not even allowed to use the bathroom due to serious safety concerns to the building. Her quote, "I was fired today due to having a concealed carry permit." Durham wrote on Facebook, "Was my gun on me? No. Has it ever been on me during my job or visits? Anything work-related? No. When I told them that it's never been on me during work, what did they say?" And I quote, their quote, "How do we know that? I got my concealed carry because I'm a woman. You've all seen the news. It's kind of crazy," she said on Facebook Live. In her post, she described herself as a survivor of sexual assault. "I have a concealed carry permit. I own guns. I hunt. I target shoot. I represent women hunters and outdoorswomen," she wrote on Facebook. "Does that make me a criminal? Does that make me a safety risk to others? A big enough safety risk to be escorted by 3 Roanoke City police officers? So scary and threatening that I need to be treated like a criminal? To be humiliated and looked down upon for owning a gun, for legally having a gun, registering that gun, and having the appropriate documentation for that gun?" End of quote. She said, "I'm going to fight back." She's preparing to lawyer up to the challenge, and she considers wrongful termination. She also is preparing to meet with U.S. politicians. She said that she does not want her job back because she doesn't want to work for these liberals.
Mic
drop.
Blame her.
And I hope she
she wins. I hope she wins. I don't like seeing lawsuits, but man,
out of them.
I
hope she put some of them out of jobs, and I hope they suffer, because what they did was despicable, like plenty of people on the left have done to Republicans.
After what this woman's been through, because of a society that's let her down, she just wants self-protection.
I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm sending her a tweet right now. Y'all go ahead and keep talking while I type this out.
Well, like I said, as a public employee, I'm somebody that doesn't take my firearm to my job. I've never had it in me or on me, like with me, you know.
In me.
Whatever. You know, I've been up since 5, bro.
Yeah.
I've never had it like in my holster, on my person, in my classroom. All right. I've had it, you know, I mean, whatever. Never once. But if somebody gets scared thinking, oh, he goes to the range every weekend. Oh, he's got a YouTube video. Oh, he's a public high school teacher. He's a threat to society. Even though I've gone through, for Nebraska, a full FBI background check to get my concealed carry permit. I paid for the classes. I do regular practice at the range. Never had anything more than running a stop sign and what, one speeding ticket 10 years ago. I was set up for that, by the way. But anyway, you know, I mean, seriously, you know, what threat is this woman? And not only that, think about the work that she was doing before as a social services employee. The experiences that she had, she would know how to give somebody the proper counseling with what she went through, somebody who could level with somebody that goes through that kind of thing or has gone through that kind of an event that she had. So her employers can't look past the fact that she's not breaking any laws. They see her as somebody who's a threat or somebody who's dangerous just because she knows how to use a firearm for self-defense and she likes to go out and hunt once in a while. Does that make her unstable? No. So why would you just assume that about that person? That's the thing that I don't like. Just that assumption cost her job, her benefits, maybe any money she's been putting back for retirement. It's gone. It's done.
There is no acceptable or logical reason for the way they mistreated her, and she should sue them, and she should force them to start firing their people at the top to the point that they don't have any money to even rehire anybody.
Okay, here's going to be the defense, and this is what they do when they get rid of teachers that they don't like. They'll say that you did something that was causing such a disturbance in the workplace that the workplace was unable to function. So therefore, you're a liability to us and our company. You're a liability to our organization. Therefore, we had to let you go. And I'm sure that's probably in their policies, their bylaws for employment. That's all they got to do is say was that her.
But she didn't do anything.
That's it, though. That's just it. If you're a teacher and you post something online and it generates too much of a storm at school that it interrupts the learning process, you can be let go for that. You can be suspended and let go.
The left,
it's happened. It's happened before.
The left, it's amazing how the left acts like Nazis.
These things happen, dude. I mean, it's terrible.
You notice how all the people are Democrats, like Louis Farrakhan, Al Sharpton, all the people that could actually be equated to Hitler. Those are the people the Democrats lean to all the time, 100%, hugging them and kissing them. They're like their best friends. It's despicable, disgusting.
Yeah, I mean, here's somebody that's already set up, somebody who's been productive in their. You know, if they would have fired her, they didn't even say it was because she was missing work or because she had gotten in fights with her employee. I mean, there was no logical reason to get rid of her just because they see her as a potential threat. I can't comprehend this at all. I don't understand people's thought process. You know, I know.
There is no reasonable
no
explanation for it.
And I mean, I know people that don't like guns, that don't shoot, that don't hunt. They got no problems with me because they just assume that I'm a sane person that's not going to do anything irrational.
Okay.
You know?
So,
oh man, this is crazy.
So, I just sent Miss Durham a tweet asking her to come on the show so that she can get her story out. I think this is something that needs to be discussed. I think that this is a very dangerous situation. And I think that she has one hell of a lawsuit if she decides to push it against the state of Virginia.
And I hope more people come forward if they've ever been in that situation.
I cannot believe.
And you know what? Hey, there better be a pro-gun organization backing her up or her lawyer fees. Because if there isn't, if there is not, then that is setting a precedent for anybody that's got spouses that work in public employment, in the public sector, anyone. All right.
Especially in Virginia.
You know, there you go. Well, you know, having that gun, you didn't do anything wrong, but you caused an emotional whatever. You caused interruptions in the workplace. You're a liability to us. Yeah.
I just honestly, I'm in shock about that one.
Yeah.
Wow. And you know, I always figured Virginia being as, you know, first of all, it's a Commonwealth state, apparently not, and I figured there was more pro gun than that. Lord.
Well, I mean, if it's, but I'm just saying, she's got this job. She obviously has gone through all the rigors that are required to do this. She's already gone through whatever background checks are required for her job. She's already established, you know? Yeah. This is just crazy. I want to see the comments and see what people are saying about it. I'm just checking to see if anybody says, well, she deserved it. So, but I'm just saying that, you know, and she should, you know what? Furthermore, what she does on her own time, she shouldn't have to hide. I mean, she shouldn't feel like she needs to hide that from anybody. There's no reason why she couldn't have, say, a picture on her phone of the deer that she shot legally, or maybe, you know, some pictures of her at the range just having fun, you know, practicing her self-defense, right? Yeah. I mean, that's just it. You should not have to do that. It's ridiculous. First of all, again, like John said, you're not breaking the law. You're not breaking any rules. Yeah. I mean, I do want to hear what happens. I hope she responds to you. Just say, hey, gunchannels.com, man. We want to get your story out there. I'll talk about her story if she doesn't even want to come on my show. I'll be more than happy to let people know about it. Well. What is going on with this country, guys?
Like I said, I have just sent her a tweet. Hopefully she gets back with me. You know, I think that this is not only unfair to her, but it's unfair to every other woman who decides to go and get a concealed license and has to face their bosses and get fired just because she has a CCW.
Yeah, you're basically when they treat someone who's the victim of that kind of abuse, being a woman, you're basically telling the woman, okay, you're right. Things are unfair. This is what the left is telling them. Things are unfair. You're right. Men have bigger than you, but we don't want you to protect yourself. God forbid you should be raped. That's basically what the government is telling women.
I don't know, man. I'm in a state of shock over that one.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, hopefully I've sent her a notification, and you know what? I don't care if she wants to do it tonight. I will after I close this show, I will have her back on. I will start another show later tonight just to have her on. So if she's willing to do that. And if I step on somebody's toes doing it, I'm sorry, but this is important and needs to get out there. This is nuts.
But I'm just saying, anybody that's got family working in the public sector, if they can do it that easily, then they can do it to your family, your wife, your brother, your sister, your grandpa, whatever. You know, just because they don't like what you do, and that does not. I mean, maybe they'll find they'll find something. They'll say, oh, well, she was on Facebook at work. You know, I mean, half the employees in that office are probably on Pinterest all day. Seriously, I mean, they'll find something stupid that they can justify letting her go with, but. You know, yeah, I do want to see how this one's going to end up. And maybe she won't be able to talk about it because there's a possibility that her lawyers might advise her to not say anything or do anything until it gets presented in the courtroom, and then she can maybe come out about it. But
well, yeah, you got a point there too. I mean, you don't want to push any issues like that and get her any more hot water. Not that she's any hot water right now.
Yeah.
As far as if the story is exactly like it was written, she's done absolutely nothing wrong. The state was out of line, and she has, like I said, one hell of a lawsuit on her hands. And I'd push it to the absolute limits.
Yeah.
You cannot do this to people. You know, people have a right to defend themselves, especially in this country. That's what the Second Amendment's there for.
Now, I'll tell you something. Okay, Two Live Moo saying there's got to be more to the story. Not always, Moo. All it takes is a bunch of gossipy people to start getting their emotions all up in an uproar and get their tail feathers all ruffled. And the boss says, well, we got to do something about this. I feel scared. I mean, you'd be amazed at the kind of office personalities you can run into and how it affects them and how I'm just, man, yeah. I mean, they'll come up with something. They'll come up with something.
I originally never thought that Virginia was full of snowflakes, but apparently I was wrong.
I don't know, man.
Uh,
Sorry if you live in Virginia, but apparently you have a lot of snowflakes there. And I will donate to the safety pin fund for you.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say about any of that, man. It's
Casino Boss has got he makes kind of a strong pointer. It's unfair, but labor laws are heavily weighted towards the employer. Yeah, I mean, you can see that. I mean, yeah.
yeah, but having a concealed carry permit does not necessarily mean that you have taken your weapon to work. It's an unfair assumption on the employer's part to state that. It's also unfair to fire her over that. It's like my boss. My boss knows beyond a shadow of a doubt that I've got guns, a lot of guns. Well, I say a lot of guns. Some people have a lot more than I got, but that's beside the point. Uh, um, and I told him as soon as I get my concealed carry permit, when I come to work, I will have a gun on me. And he's like, "That's full. That's fine. He don't care." Which is great. It's wonderful. You know, he knows that I'm smart enough to, not brandish it at work. But if something ever happens there, he also knows that I'm there and I'm willing to do what I have to do when I have to do it, with no questions asked.
Yeah.
And I think what it is fear. I think employers are afraid that, oh my God, she's got a concealed weapon permit. She could go off the deep end any moment and start shooting up everybody in here. No. Says who?
You know what? Somebody made a comment at the bottom of that article, and so this guy said, "You know what? If I really didn't like my employees at work, I could strangle them with my belt." That's exactly what the guy said as a comment.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I mean, he goes, "I could take one in the back room and you never see him again." I'm like, "Holy crap, dude!" But I mean, he's got a point. Anything can be used as a weapon. You don't have to have permission to go off. I mean,
you can use anything as a weapon.
Seriously, who sits around and says, I'm going to go off, but I got to wait until my background check passes 7 days from now before I do this? Who thinks like that? You got to be. I mean, no rational person is going to think that way. An irrational person will act on impulse and not even. Oh man. Or unless they're conniving and planning something, say something bigger, right? Then that kind of person might be thinking like that, but. Your average person that just loses their temper and goes off. I mean, they're not going to be sitting there thinking, "Oh, I'll wait till tomorrow and I'll come back when I got my, No, man. Oh my God, it's ridiculous.
I work in a kitchen. I've got weapons all around me. Lots of sharp instruments that I can use to do a lot of damage very quickly. And here's the difference between a knife and a gun that people don't get. You want to outlaw guns? I'll tell you what scares me more than a gun. It's a knife, because you don't hear a knife going off.
Well, look at people in the UK. They got knife crimes left and right. They have knife assaults all over them, and many knives are illegal in the UK.
What are you talking about? They have crime in the UK. They banned guns. How could they possibly have any crime?
Yeah, well, it just goes from one method to the other, and then you get rid of knives, and then they'll start using what are they called? Wickets? No, they'll start using cricket bats.
And then fidget.
You ever seen the movie Spinal Tap? Their manager takes a cricket bat to the hotel room and he just destroys it, man. I mean, imagine what that do to a human being. Seriously, he's cricket. Or they could use hot tea as a weapon. I mean, seriously, they could use anything.
They could only use hot drinks that don't actually say on the cup that they're hot. That's the only time they could use.
They're cream-filled tea. What's wrong with those people?
Yeah.
People who use cream-filled tea is just not sane.
There's something wrong with you if you do that. That's not right.
It doesn't even sound right.
No, who puts cream in tea? It's sugar or nothing. Or you have one of those frou-frou chai mixes. That's a whole different
frou-frou.
It's coming from a guy who just started drinking sweet tea like yesterday.
Look, man. If it's $4.50 for a tall at Starbucks, it's frou-frou. All right, you go to Starbucks, you get black coffee, and that's how it is. If you go there, all right, you don't get anything else. You don't get mocha chai latte, non-lactose, whatever, goat's milk infused mocha stuff, right? You go there and you get black coffee. End of story.
Oh Lord.
Anyway, what was the next story we got lined up? Because this is just gonna everybody's just gonna get mad if we keep marinating on that one. We're just gonna it's just not gonna help. So
well, it is what it is.
yeah.
We will help this lady out in every way we can possibly can. So, John, do you have that story queued up?
I do.
Okay, well, let's get into that one. This one ought to be interesting.
All right. Let's see. All right. The title of the article, New York Times, conceding to NRA. Trump abandons brief gun control promise. March 12th, 2018. Washington. President Trump on Monday abandoned his promise to work for gun control measures opposed by the National Rifle Association, bowing to the gun group and embracing its agenda of armed teachers and incremental improvements to the background check system. After the Florida high school massacre last month, Mr. Trump explicitly called on live television for
Did you catch
raising
that?
the age.
Hold on a minute. Did you catch that, Mr.
I
Trump?
did. Yeah.
Mr. Trump? Yeah.
It's the New York Times. They don't have respect where they should have respect. Come on.
Yeah.
After the Florida high school massacre last Trump, Mr. Trump explicitly called on live television for raising the age limit to purchase rifles and backed 2013 legislation for near universal background checks. He later told lawmakers that while the NRA has great power over you people, they have less power over me. So basically, I'm stronger than you are. Ah, But on Monday, it was a president who seemed to knuckle under, again, dramatizing the sway that the NRA still maintains in Republican circles. Students around the country might be massing for a march on Washington on March 24th. The victims and survivors of school shootings from Connecticut to Florida may be pushing their states to move on gun control, but Mr. Trump cited a lack of political support for raising the age limit to purchase rifles, which is not evident in public opinion polls but is very much evident in his party. He said that his administration was studying the issue and suggested that states should decide whether to prohibit people under 21 from buying the kind of assault weapon used by the gunman who rampaged through Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. Without referencing an Oval Office meeting he had with the NRA, officials this month, the president acknowledged the group lobbying successes. Not much political support, to put it mildly, Mr. Trump said of the higher age limit in a tweet, adding that his administration will watch court rulings before it acts. He did not mention that it is the NRA that is precipitating such court rulings by suing the state of Florida over its new gun purchasing age. To no one's surprise, the president's words of support for stronger gun safety laws proved to be hollow. Senator Dianne Skull and Bones, Democrat of California, said, responding to the murder of 17 students and educators by endorsing the gun lobby's platform is a shameful abdication of the president's responsibility to lead. Shame on you, Mr. President. The president's retreat is a stark reminder, if anyone in Washington needed one, that the gun debate remains stuck where it has been for more than a decade.
It's not stuck. It's not stuck. It's never been stuck.
Despite scores of deaths from mass shootings in that time, Republican lawmakers fear the NRA's ability to stir up opposition in their districts. They continue to oppose new gun restrictions, and even a Republican president with an unconventional approach is likely to challenge the status quo in an election year. Only one gun-related measure on background checks seems likely to pass this year, but critics noted that it would only enforce existing law. It really, to me, is simple. Senator John Cornyn of Texas, the chamber's number 2 Republican, said, do people want their whole laundry list of things done and end up empty-handed? That's what usually happens. If you say, I want 100% of what I want or nothing, we invariably end up with nothing. In the face of NRA opposition, the president also has retreated from his earlier openness to expand background checks on a renewal of expired ban on assault weapons positions that he signaled during a remarkable meeting with lawmakers in which he demanded comprehensive legislation that would include long-standing Democratic efforts to restrict firearms. Instead, Mr. Trump went Instead, Mr. Trump over the weekend released a modest plan that eschewed gun control measures in favor of more limited bills that would provide weapons training for teachers and create a commission to study other responses to school shootings. Attorney General Jeff Do Nothing Sessions did announce on Monday evening that the Justice Department would more aggressively enforce the existing law, making it illegal to rely on federal background checks, and would step up law enforcement presence. You want me to continue? It's pretty depressing.
No, no,
I
no.
mean, they're kind
That's
of the article is kind of saying, yeah, we're going to do what we should have been doing for the last 20 years, but we'll start it now.
yeah. Well, the good news is here he's wanting to get firearms in the hands of the teachers, and that's something we have been preaching for how long?
A long time.
Yeah, exactly. So, Travis, that's some good news for you.
Yeah, and sign me up, man. You want me to do 140 hours of training? I'll do 140 hours of training. I don't care. So summers are for.
I'm not a teacher. I'll do the training for free.
Exactly. I'll go to boot camp. You don't even have to pay for it. Sign me up. I'm sorry, my life is worth more than the cost of 140 hours worth of training. Where do I pay?
Unless you work for a public agency who can fire you at any time just because you're licensed. This one.
Yes, watch me get the training and then I get released because I'm now now they fear me because I'm like a well-honed.
So maybe right? You should take the course and have them pay for it just in case.
No. let's just make it a gun-free zone and then we'll go from there. So there you go.
Yeah, because apparently some government state agencies can do whatever the hell they want and break your rights however they want, and you get off your butts and start showing them they can't. Okay, come on, people.
Yeah.
Sheesh, Lord have mercy.
Yep. That's some scary stuff, man. Some sad stuff.
And we go over this stuff over and over and over on everybody's show. And I know people get sick of hearing it. I understand that. I get it. But
I'll tell you what. Yeah.
It's important stuff. It really is important stuff. And you got to understand where the opposition's mind is, which is never in a good place. I think what would be a head turning event, and I hope to God it never happens. Let me say this: I do not ever want to see this happen, but it would be a head turning event if there was actually a situation where somebody came into a school, wanted to do harm to students, and a teacher was there with a loaded gun and took this guy out before he killed 15, 17, 20. 30 people. You know,
I'm just waiting for the day the Democratic voters wake up and realize that the people they vote for don't give a damn about them.
They don't. They never have.
I'm just waiting for that miracle to happen.
Yeah, and gun control in this country has never been about guns. Ever. Not the first one, not the last one. It's always been about simple control. That's what they want. They want control. People talk about the slippery slope and that we're nuts for thinking that they're trying to take away all the guns, but they are trying to take away all the guns. That's the end game. That's where they want us.
And they're not even trying to hide it. They're not even trying to hide it anymore.
No, they're not. They're coming right out in the open and saying, no, we're going to take this one, and then we're going to take this one, and we're going to take this part and this accessory and that accessory. Then we're going to take the ARs and then the shotguns and then the bolt action rifles and then the single shots because you can kill somebody with any of them. And yet, how many people die every year from drunk driving compared to guns?
I would say you need even a less stronger comparison. Look at all the gun laws you're making in all the states now. You're even making them more restrictive and infringing more on people's rights. Has
Yeah.
any of the crime stopped?
No, it's not
No.
going to. It's just going to go up now.
Exactly.
It's going to rise. It's been proven. That's how it works. You take the guns away from the good guys, the bad guys gets the guns, and they do more harm than good. And even if the criminals aren't using guns, they're using more knives. They're doing more violent crimes. Baseball bats pounding you with their fist, whatever. Golf
Have you
clubs
guys
for crying out loud.
any heard of any of bomb bans? Any bills for banning bombs lately? Because I
No,
sure as
no,
hell haven't.
no, no. I haven't heard any people talking about banning bombs or banning automobiles or swimming pools or cell phones.
But in the last couple of weeks, weren't there? Oh, I don't know. 3 people were sent actual bombs to their addresses. I haven't heard any legislation on banning bombs.
Yesterday was the first time I'd heard anything about that.
And it's not the first time it's happened. How surprising the government doesn't tell you everything, huh?
Well, see, it's like I said that event would, in a school, a teacher shoots the bad guy, would be a head turning event because the media couldn't cover that one up. The government couldn't cover that one up because it happened in a public school.
Don't get it wrong. It's not like they didn't try.
Oh, they might try, but there's no way they could, and that's gonna take all these people that say, and it's on the wall about it, going, well, maybe we should, maybe we shouldn't. Then they're gonna say, well, this is a case where the good guy with a gun saved the lives of no telling how many innocent people, and the government can do what they want, but they can't cover that one up. It'd be an impossibility. It's going to be right out there in the open, and it's going to open the eyes to other people that might decide to try the same thing. Well, maybe school is not the place to try this. So next would be the shopping malls. Not that hasn't already happened.
Now, I want to throw a statistic out there, and this is one thing that I see as something that society is definitely not recognizing and should. So there's 13,286 people that are killed in the U.S. by firearms. Now, that's not taking out gang violence. That's just straight up numbers of people that are killed by firearms in the U.S. Okay, now we can dissect that number however we want. Let's just look at that number. Now, how many people commit suicide every year in the U.S.?
Quite a few.
44,965 last year. Now, let's not put the guns in the equation because a person can do. There's many things you could do to end your life, okay? So we've got 3 times, almost 4 times the population of people in the United States of America that end their lives every year. And where's the public outcry for that? Where's the funding for that? Where's the commercials on TV? Where is the support networks and the help and the legislation and the emotion and the children screaming out about this every year for their friends that end their lives?
Amen,
it's
brother.
nowhere to be. It's nowhere to be found.
Preach, brother.
Where's the 45? There's 45,000 people. You know what? Because I tell you what, if we had 45,000 people dying from airplane crashes every year, they'd shut down every airport in North America.
Who are the people making the bills? The same people who don't give a rat's ass about people with mental health, just like they don't give a damn about the people who vote for them.
If we cared about those 45,000 people every year, we'd have help for those people. And then not only that, that's the people that succeed, man. How about the number of people that try? What about their lives? And they go on living every day. Who knows? They might have doing something down the road. So
to them or to somebody else.
Yeah, and it could cost other lives. They might do something because they don't care anymore. Where's the help for the 45,000 people? And then when we don't treat those people, what you get happening is what you see down in Florida at their high school. Now, where's the billions of dollars in anti-suicide legislation that our representatives should be putting out there? No, because people like to look the other way because suicide is taboo. It's not something that we need to see as a health problem. It's something that, they ended their life. And then you go to the funeral and that's it. We don't look at the problem, right? All we do is look at the result at the end and then we move on with our lives. Well, I'm sorry, but
that's interesting because some might say the government doesn't care about people who have mental issues.
If they did, we wouldn't lose 45,000 a year.
That's
And
interesting.
don't
I
even get me
never
started
thought
on,
about
on the vets that aren't being helped. Where's the billions of dollars to help our veterans when they come back? Why are we
that.
giving billions of dollars in aid to other countries when we got people that can't even want to go on in this country?
Instead of waste, like you said, instead of wasting our money, taxpayers' dollars, government stealing from taxpayers and sending it overseas, why not do something like you said with the veterans, especially? Why, instead of making the veterans pill poppers, why not actually help them?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's therapy that goes beyond popping pills, right? Now, there are going to be people that are chemically genuinely depressed that need that medication to balance themselves out. But I'm just saying, like where's though there's a 1-800 number you can call if you're depressed. Okay, how about my own community? How about somebody I can just go talk to and not have to pay for it and not file a claim through my insurance, which isn't going to cover it anyway because it's under mental health and it's usually not covered on your insurance, right?
Yeah,
Where's the help for those people? You know what it costs? I don't go to a therapist, but you know what it costs to go to a therapist for an hour?
A lot of money. A
$100
lot
an
of
hour
money.
around here. And people don't have that kind of money if they've got those problems because they can barely function. Where's help for those people?
Here's the problem with most people like us have with going to therapists or psychologists or psychiatrists or anything like that. All it takes is a phone call from that therapist to the right person saying, well, he's a bit depressed. He might not need a firearm.
Yeah.
And then
that's another serious issue.
Yeah,
that
that
the
is a
government
serious
really
issue.
is infringing. The government is infringing on people's medical information because you're making it available to doctors to just spit it out anywhere they want.
Just because
And not to
somebody's
say
depressed does
that
not mean
everybody,
that they're
not to
going to
say
commit
everybody,
crime.
exact what you just said. Just because somebody feels like they need somebody to talk to doesn't mean they have any issues.
Yeah.
Hey, furthermore,
We're all human.
Yeah.
We're all human. We all have issues
Yeah.
at some point in our lives, or we just need to talk to somebody. Doesn't mean we have issues. You understand what I'm saying? But you're taking away people's ability to want to go get help when that's the stigma you're throwing out there.
Exactly. If somebody lives a perfectly normal life, goes to work every day, he gets a bit depressed, he goes see a psychologist. Psychologist calls somebody and says, well, this guy just seen me, and well, he's not exactly in his right mind right now. You might want to go take his guns from him. He just lost his Second Amendment rights forever because of a psychologist running his mouth where he should have kept his mouth closed. That's bullshit. Yes, there are people out there that really don't need guns. They are truly psychotic. They are truly nuts. But in general, we all go through bouts of depression. That does not mean we are going to go out to a shopping mall and shoot the place up.
And I'm telling you right now, I guarantee you there are millions of law-abiding citizens that happen to be on antidepressants or other medication to keep them stable because they get depressed when they're not on their medication, but they don't commit crimes with their guns because they're rational thinking human beings,
Right. They're perfectly stable. There's nothing wrong with them. Just stay to the regimen and that's it. You're
and
absolutely right.
Not every person that's depressed wants to kill themselves or others.
And
that's
not
how
every
mental
person,
illness works.
And not every person that's depressed wants to take pills because they're just upset about something that recently happened. You want to take away people's humanity and tell them, oh, you're not allowed to be because if you are, now you have issues. That's ludicrous.
See, and that's the absence of education we have on mental health in this country right now. 3 times the number of people die from suicide, and I guarantee we don't have 3 times the money spent on that we do on anti-gun legislation.
Okay, guys, this is a great conversation, but I'm going to stop for just a second.
Yeah, man.
My sister, God bless her, she just decided to send me a message. I challenge you to tell at least 10 people that you know that you love them. So I've got 21 listeners right now. I love you all.
And I love you guys.
And I love you guys.
That's right. More like the way that brothers say it to each other, not in any kind of weird way. But I'm just saying,
yeah.
Not, I mean,
yeah.
I mean, not that I wouldn't like, share a sleeping bag or something, but
Okay. Don't make it weird.
Look, all right, if we're like in the Alaskan woods and it's snowing and we're gonna snuggle, if it's a life or death thing, then
maybe
whatever.
Maybe.
But I'm just saying I love you guys, man. Like that, like brothers, right? That's what it is, because we all understand each other.
Don't forget sisters too.
Yeah. Well, yeah. If you want to be if you identify as a sister, that's cool, man. Whatever.
No. An actual female. Come on.
Oh, well, hey, no. Let's not go there. Let's not say you have to be an actual female to identify as a sister.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Okay?
We don't want to.
That's the last thing we do.
We don't want to female shame anybody. God forbid you should have a firearms permit and go to work one day and they want to fire you because of it. We don't want to shame you for being female.
No.
So now that we've got my sister's chain letter out of the way here, I don't know why she does that. I mean, I'm constantly...
Dude, that's all about warm fuzzies, though, man. That's something you should be doing anyway, Yeah. There's enough of that in this world right now.
Let me give you a little background on my sister. I hooked her up with Facebook last year. She knew nothing about Facebook
that was it.
at all until last year. And, brother, she hit it hard. She is constantly getting these chain things. Tell 10 people you love them.
Now, if you love your sister so much, why would you do that to her with Facebook? Why?
Well, because she wanted to get up with some of the people that she had lost contact with from her childhood. She's got friends that she don't see very often or don't talk to a whole lot. And I told her, I said, you know what? Well, Facebook is a good way to do that. Just use the block button religiously. Because, there are idiots on Facebook and you have to be able to control them.
Yes.
And Midnight is fucking. Midnight, what are you fucking about now?
Say what?
Midnight just wrote "fuck it" out in the middle of the chat, and I'm wondering why.
Maybe he's going to go tell somebody maybe he's going to go tell people at the restaurant that he loves them.
Yeah, you should. You should go tell every. You should tell every employee of the restaurant that you love them.
You go over there. You give. I'm telling you this. You go. Yeah. You go give that dishwasher a hug because that is the lowest paid, most responsible person in the whole restaurant. Yeah. And they are highly, highly underpaid and undervalued in the restaurant.
I think the chefs are overpaid.
Hold on now. I found out why.
Let's not get away from the true problem in this country. That's I'm just saying, as a dishwasher that was busting my tail for $5 an hour back in the 90s, right? You should be paying double or triple because you perform better at your job if you get paid like they value you, man. And what are people going to eat on? If you don't do your job, what are people going to eat on? You think they're going to put Chinette in these restaurants? No, man. Seriously, you're going to put Dixie plates out because there ain't no clean dishes? No, you deserve to get paid double or triple what they're paying you now with benefits.
Damn straight.
I'm done. That's it. Hey, man, go do dishes over Thanksgiving weekend in a restaurant. See if it doesn't make you realize the value of life. And I worked at one of those restaurants that had one of those super bars where they had like the salad bar and the soup like a sizzler, where people would use like 15 plates each. And then you got mountains of dishes. I worked so fast when I did it, the sanitizer couldn't even keep up with me, man. I just had trays all stacked ready to go in the dishwasher. Like, where are the plates? I'm like, bro, I can't make this thing work any faster. I'm doing my part.
When I go to buffets, I try to make sure I use at least one plate every 5 minutes.
John,
you hit that wall after 30 if you don't. So
I know, right?
Yeah.
John, I'm going to send you a link, and I want you to post it because I'm sending it to you from my phone. Never mind. It finally popped up on the computer here. And I'm going to post it. This one's going to catch somebody's attention real quick. I'm going to put this in a side chat, Travis.
You're talking about that? You're talking about it's a different article. Okay.
Yeah, take a look at that one, Travis.
Yeah. You want me to post
that?
Oh,
is this the one he ran out to his car and the kid stopped him? I think I heard about this one. Is this the one I'm thinking of?
Yeah, apparently.
That was from back in 2012. But there was a kid that actually backed in behind the kid that was going to do harm. And that principal went out there and got his firearm and held the kid at bay until the cops showed up. Yeah, I mean, again, you know, good guy with a gun stops a bad guy or prevents something from happening. You know, and I'm sad that this happened, but had this happened last week, it would definitely make a push for it. Now, I was going to ask you guys, what is the actual status of the push for teachers to carry in the classroom? Because I've been hearing that, it's only going to be the specialists. It's only going to be former military and former police. It's only going to be librarians, custodians, administrators, not the classroom teachers. I keep hearing that. Is that part of the provisions that Trump is pushing for?
I do not know. I can't.
Because if it is, that's going to do absolutely nothing. Because not that those people aren't in the building, but they're not the ones in every single hallway, every class period between periods. You know, they're not the ones in the classroom. It's not going to do any good. In the minute and a half it's going to take me to get to the office to let somebody know or to get on the intercom. I mean, okay. Well, it's a nice, you know, bass-ackwards attempt at trying to address the problem, but it could definitely be way better.
Mm-hmm. I think that anybody that wants to carry should have that right in that school. I'm not saying force it on everybody because that's nonsense. Not everybody's going to be comfortable carrying a gun. But if they are comfortable with carrying a gun, give them the training and let them do so. It's that simple. It's not difficult. You know, it's I don't know.
You know, what drives me nuts about this is on the news they're saying, well, we don't want every teacher getting the gun in the class. No, it shouldn't be anyway. Why would you even think it would be like that? Why would you even for a second think it'd be a federal mandate that every teacher carries in the classroom? Hey, I'm cool with that, but there's people in my building I wouldn't trust with a stapler, okay? You know, so I'm just saying, why would you even think, you know? I don't understand why even, because it's like, why should, and then people say, well, you don't want to give that person a gun, and then there's no push in favor of it at all.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I think that the teachers that want to be armed should be armed, you know, and those that don't shouldn't have to be forced.
Ma, here's another problem. In my state, it's not allowed. It's a gun-free zone. I can have a vehicle legally locked. I can have a gun legally locked up in my vehicle in a lockbox or in the trunk. I can do that with my concealed carry permit. But, and I don't know about non-concealed because I don't have to follow non-concealed rules. I have to follow the concealed carry rules. But the state doesn't allow it. So until my state reverses it, and as pro-gun as we are, again, we're just, Nebraska is not, just doesn't think with logic sometimes when they come up with rules and regulations and policies, you know? I think they have good intentions, but they just make really crummy rules at times until they get that reversed. I mean, I don't know if a federal mandate can supersede state law. I have no idea.
I'll tell you right now, Nebraska is not alone.
I'm going to read this article out real quick.
Do it.
Because I think it's a good article. I've just read through it. How an assistant principal with a gun stopped a school shooter. Assistant principal Joel Myrick chased Woodham down outside the school, held him at bay with a Colt .45 caliber automatic pistol he kept in his truck in the school parking lot. He forced Woodham to the ground and put a foot on the youth's neck. I think he's a coward, Myrick said. I had my weapon pointed at his face, and he didn't want to die. There are two ways the gun control debate on Newtown has been going. The left insists, now this was a while back, yeah. The left insists that the expanding gun-free zones, banning firearms, and leaving school children vulnerable to school shooters who don't make it past their regulations is the way to go. The right argues that a faculty that has teachers and principals who have a carry permit and can protect children under their care, it says car, I think they meant care, is the way to go. And it goes on here. At 8 a.m. October 1st, Luke Woodham, 16, bookish and overweight, drove a white, hey, wait a minute. Travis, you resemble that remark. Bookish and overweight. Okay, never mind. Drove a white Chevy.
I'm husky and pleasantly plump. Let's just get that straight. All right, I'm big boned. That's what my mama says.
Okay. Oh, yeah. It's the other Travi that's bookish.
Let's not pick a fight with a guy that knows how to use a knife. Okay. I'm just saying, bro. I'm looking out for your back here, man. All right. Anyway,
I
proceed.
appreciate you. Drove a white Chevy Corsica up to the high school that was already a sign of trouble. The young man had poor vision and was driven to school every day by his mother. But 3 hours earlier that morning, Mary Ann Woodham, 50, had been stabbed to death with a butcher knife in the home she shared with her son. So, in other words, the kid killed his mom before he went to the school. And see, Luke Woodham walked into Peril High School's High Commons, an enclosed created by the school building. He then took a 30-30 rifle from beneath his blue trench coat and opened fire, wounding 7 schoolmates and killing 2. Lydia Kyle Drew, 17, and Christina Menifee, 16, a girl he once dated. Roy Ballantyne, the principal, dashed out of his office when he heard the first shots. I ran out to see if something possibly malfunctioned, he said. I was hoping that's what it was, but I knew it sounded like gunshots. He saw Woodham about 15-20 feet away, wearing a blue coat and holding a rifle. Valentine dangled both arms to show Woodham he held the rifle low out in front of him. Fearing Woodham would come for him next, Valentine ran to his office, called the police. As he dialed, more shots rang out, more students fell. Methodically, Woodham began moving through the commons, shooting his victims as students and teachers hid or fled screaming. One of those hits was Lydia Drew, 17, killed with a bullet in the back. He was so cool and calm, I saw him shoot the kid. He ejected the shell, says Assistant Principal Joe Merrick. He was walking along, thumbing fresh rounds into the side port of the rifle. Now, get this, he did not use an AR-15. He used a lever-action rifle. Wow. Minutes later, Assistant Principal Joe Merrick chased Woodham down outside the school, held him at bay with a Colt 45 automatic pistol he kept in his truck in the school parking lot. He forced Woodham to the ground and put his foot on his neck. And this is a sign that good guys with guns stops bad guys with guns. It's that simple. That's if he didn't have to take the time to go to this truck to get the gun first, how many less people would have gotten hurt or killed? He'd already had the gun on him. He'd already been ready for the situation. It's about, people talk about, wanting to keep the kids safe. Well, keeping the kids safe, you do that the same way you keep everybody else safe with a gun. I read a story yesterday talking about a mayor who, in some city, I think it was New York, that sent home all the armed police officers from the schools because he didn't feel that was safe. And my response to that was simple. Well, if you're going to send armed police officers home from the schools because you wanted your children safe, I guess that means that you're going to send all those armed police officers that you have in your office home because you want to feel safe as well. Or maybe his logic is, I'm more important than those kids. My life means something theirs don't. And that's my take on that. A mayor who is so stupid as to think that a child's life isn't worth protecting with a gun, but his is, doesn't need to be mayor. So that's my take on that situation. And maybe I'm off base. I don't think I am. If anybody wants to debate me on it, that's fine. We can go at it. But you're never going to convince me in a million years that not having armed guards or armed police officers or armed teachers in a school isn't the best way to go. How many school shootings has there been in the last 20 years? How many of them could have been stopped with one armed teacher willing to use a weapon? Probably all of them. Would there have been a few killings? Probably. There's going to be a couple shots fired before anybody knows what's going on, of course. But it might not have been 5. It might not have been 10, 15, 17. It might have just been 1, maybe 2, and maybe neither one of those 2 would have died. It's going to suck either way. There's going to be some hurt kids. But he didn't kill 5. He just wounded 2. Is it a perfect solution? No, because there's never going to be a perfect solution. You can't have a perfect solution for any kind of thing like this. And taking guns away from us, that's not going to stop it. Because they can still kill somebody if they choose to. I could take a knife to a mall and kill 15 people and nobody ever know what was done until I was gone. That's the thing that the left don't think about, is how many other ways these people could kill somebody and you not even know they're doing it. Yeah. Common sense isn't very common, particularly when you're in politics, apparently. But okay, I'm done with my rant. What you guys got?
Well, here's something I want to add to this. If you could look at the end of that article, there were people that said that the principal did the wrong thing, that he should not have had his gun on a school campus, that he should not have pointed the gun at the kid. People were saying, and I quote, he should not have pointed his gun at a student. That's not a student. When you take up a gun and you start killing your classmates, you are not a student anymore, right? You're a criminal,
no, you're a
killer, you're a monster, you're a combatant, you're a terrorist, whatever. You're not a student. Second, the guy felt, and it must have been okay because he never went to prison for it, that his vehicle is an extension of his home. His property in his vehicle is an extension of property in his home. He wasn't breaking the law. And so obviously people don't understand the law. They're going to come out here in opposition to what he did. People don't even know how to check their own, validity of their arguments.
People are idiots. They're just, let's just leave it at that. People are idiots. They holler gun control. Hell, they probably don't even know what laws we already have on the books that aren't being enforced.
That's usually the people who have no clue that want to argue for the wrong thing.
I don't know. Guys, we're going to bring this one to a close. We've been going on a little over an hour. I'd like to thank my guests, Travis and John Z, for being here. Thank you both. You got anything to plug, Travis?
Man, thank you so much. I appreciate it, man.
You got anything to plug?
Let's see. We got Caliber Corner on Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. over on YouTube and on gunchannels.com. Get over there on Gun Channels, get your account set up, join the masses, meet some new friends, talk to like-minded people, and then check out my channel, Travis P11. We did surpass 7,000 subs last night, so I'm going to be doing a giveaway. I'm going to be pushing some Travis P11 swag from the Spreadshirt page that I'm trying to launch here. So we're going to give some gifts. Thanks, man. I appreciate it, dude. I just thought, let's just have some fun, and I want to get a little publicity for the Spreadshirt shop. I got that. It's coming around here. It'll be up and running pretty soon. But
cool deal.
Yeah, man. Good stuff, man. Good stuff.
So, do you need my address now, or you want to get it later?
Well, I don't know what I should do for I'm not sure exactly what I should do because I'm not going to have people go someplace and subscribe to anything. I'm not going to have them, do something like where they have to make a purchase or they have to promote something on Facebook. The last one I had was whether or not if I should shave the beard,
Don't ever shave the beard, man. Never shave the beard.
He had Midnight Range made a pretty good point over there in the chat. I passed 7,000 because I was on your show. I was on his show Sunday night. Yeah, and I'm also a fan of Sweet Tea now because of you. So thank you. I'm forever indebted to you. My future diabetes thanks you. I don't know. I'll think of something kind of fun, or just maybe I don't know, man. Maybe put in a request for firearm tests that people would like to see me do or whatnot. We'll kind of go from there.
Awesome.
Okay. Before we jump off here, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget we got Ghost Tactical coming up at 8 o'clock tonight. Hit or miss Tuesday nights at 9. That's going to be Night Strike at 9 o'clock. So we've got a full night on Tuesday nights. It's probably still one of the busiest nights of the week here on gun channels. Well, YouTube, gun channels, either or. Like they said, remember to hit up gun channels. Great source of information over there. Guys, I thank every one of you for showing up. And my sister's right. I should say I love you, and I do love you. And I thank you for showing up and listening to this nonsense for an hour and 18 minutes, I think it's been. You guys are great. And we would not be doing what we are doing without you being here. So, can I email you the first article? Yes, Mia, I will email you that first article. In fact, I will email you all 3. That way you will have them if you want to go over them. You folks have a great night, and we shall see you all next Monday.